Hey, it's Steve WB and welcome back. And today we are doing a little DIY project. And what we're going to be doing is we're ripping apart an old printer and flatbed scanner, and we're going to make our own camera slider. So without any further delay, let's get into the teardown. Okay, so this is what I'm working on. This is an old Workforce, I think it was a Hewlett Packard scanner, printer, all in one. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to take parts out of this, and I'm going to use those parts to make a camera slider for doing time lapse, you know, motion lapses and things like that. Now I'm trying to get into the bed where I can get this belt and this gear set up to also use on the slider. Okay, so now we're inside the scanner bed, and this is the part I'm going to actually try to use for the slider itself. As you can see, we have a motor and a couple of gears here with a belt, and the belt is attached to the scanner, or where the scanner light used to be, and that's just a return pulley. That's just a return pulley right there. And you can see that whenever I turn this, you get that nice little sliding motion. Now the problem with this setup is the fact that this has gotten wet, and so there's quite a bit of corrosion in here, so I don't know if this motor is any good or not. A way to make another potential slider too is, if you look, this is the print head where the ink was. There's another belt in here, you can see that, and this print head slides on this track. So you could possibly bring this whole unit out and actually mount your camera on top of this and use this as a slider to slide your camera. Okay, so here we are, we're back upstairs, and I've been pulling extra parts and stuff off the little carrier that I had downstairs that I pulled out of the printer. And of course over here you have the little carrier itself, and you can see you just put your phone on top of where the ink used to go, and the printer head's down below. It's actually still there, and plug up the battery and away it goes. I had bigger plans for this little project. I was actually going to put like an automatic stop switch, and then I was going to put a little potentiometer or like a little volume knob so I could adjust the voltage to control how fast the carrier actually slid, to control the speed of the camera for the different movements that I was planning. But I don't have all the parts that I need out here for that, and they didn't all come inside the printer. So what I had to do is I started with an 18-volt battery, and it was too fast, and I had to kind of work my way down until finally I got down to 6 volts, and that just gave me a nice smooth motion. So I went with the 6 volt. And quick note, you're going to want to know this is very important to this build. If you look right here, underneath this carrier, sliding on this rail, there's an actual brake in there, and it's like the brake on your car. It kind of just clamps onto this little rail, and it makes this thing really hard to slide. So I was having a real difficult time getting it to slide smoothly because it took so much power to get the little motor back there to turn and slide this. And but once I found that brake and removed it, I was able to drop all the way down to 6 volts and get a nice slow smooth movement. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take this little setup into the galley in there, and I'm going to set up just a random object, and we're going to actually put the Lumix, the little G7 that I have right here, on the little slider, and we're going to take I don't know, probably like 3 shots of this object, and I'm going to kind of try to make them cinematic and put them all together and put a little music to it, and we'll see what kind of results we get from our little DIY slider that we pulled out of a printer. So let's go to the galley and get into it. Okay, so what did you guys think of the little slider and the little video that I put together with the footage from my slider that I shot on the G7? Just drop a comment down below if you think it's something that you might want to build, or you think it's a worthy project. And like I said, it came from a broken printer, and it cost me nothing but a little bit of time to make, and it was really fairly simple. And if you would like to see more done to this, like if you want me to go ahead and do the upgrades like I was talking, to try to make it more usable, and like put a battery pack on it and have the volume control so you can control the speeds, and a better mount for the camera, well, just let me know and I'll do an update video on this, and we can continue the project a little further and make it a little better. But anyway, with that being said, I'm Steve WB, and I'm out.